back to our 2016 Origins Summer Preview. You are watching the Dice Tower. I'm Sam, and this is John from Ninja Division, and he's going to show us this family-friendly game called DrunkQuest. Take it away, John.
Well, it is worth that, as ninjas, it is appropriate for us to tell you that this is a game best played with people who are of adult drinking age, who enjoy adult beverages, and may enjoy slaying monsters and falling off of chairs. This is definitely one of those products.
Okay.
DrunkQuest is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful product picked up from our buddies at LoopCore. We discovered this game at a local convention to some of our employees and some of our promotions guys, and it was very successful through Kickstarter, had a lot of backing, but it's kind of been sort of run-of-the-mill for a couple of years,
very cool.
doing its own thing. This needs to be shared with the world. I'm telling you today about DrunkQuest because you need to know about this for your next party. Now, DrunkQuest. This is an epic adventure where you take your heroic heroes into dungeons untold to fight monsters and to get boozy. Now, the way this works is that at the beginning of every game, every player gets dealt a random hero. For example, mine would be the thief, and yours would be the warrior or the wizard, which sound very lovely and fantasy-esque, of which they will all then belong to a random realm, of which I belong to the fiefdom of Kegton. And his would be Deep Cellar.
Deep Cellar.
Our wizard, of course, is going to play to the noble house of Zinfandel. Now, your DrunkQuest heroes and their things basically give them a select bit of abilities, a couple of trigger effects, some really complicated, fun little rules to look at, which you'll forget about by the second turn of the game. So here's how the game works. The first player to score 6 levels wins the game, and by defeating a monster, you go up a level. You start at level 0.
All right.
Now, in the game, you get a stack of cards, you get your encounter cards, you get your treasure cards, of which we've all been dealt a hand, and you get your hero cards. And you get a couple of action dice, basically a plus or minus in big, bright, beautiful colors and shapes so that they're easy to read. No math. We take our delicious, oversized, slightly moisture-resistant cards into our hand, and at the beginning of a round, we turn over our first encounter card. In this case, we are going to fight the dreaded Absinthe. Now, if it was my turn, sitting with a table of my peers, if it's 2 of you, it will be a very, very lonely drinking game, but I recommend more people than 2. He's going to have a basic power, he's going to have a number of treasure cards he's going to give you upon defeat, and likely a special rule. In his particular case, straight up, all permanents are ignored until this monster's defeated, meaning if I've equipped myself with, I don't know, something like my thirst-quenching sword or something to that effect, I'm not going to be able to use that in this particular fight. Now, when he goes out, his power level is on full display. That is what I'm going to have to drink to in order to defeat him. Here's what happens. At the beginning of my turn, I get to take an action. Now, an action can be playing a treasure card from my hand. For example, something silly like, he's so terrible powerful, I'm going to put a haunch of meat on him and drop him down 5 points to a 1 to make him easy to defeat. Or maybe I just want to be chippy and say, hey, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and play a copper. It's an instant. I get to choose a player who takes 1 immediate drink. Go. Now, this is how this game starts to go. Now, everybody around the circle now has a chance to play an action into the fight in order to see how this rolls out. Now, more people you have, the more action is going to be played onto this. Now, is there anything in your hand you would want to play into this battle?
Let's see here. I will play Beer Berries.
Very strong. So Beer Berries ups the power of this monster by 2, and let's say I had, some rude guy sitting next to me who wants to go ahead and throw some booze blood on there for another +4, bringing this monster to a 12. Now, this comes back to me. I have one more chance to play an action from my hand. I look around. I have nothing to do. I hoist my frosty beverage. I say, my gosh, I have to beat a level 12 monster, and I start drinking, and everybody counts me down at the table. 1, 2, 3, all the way to 12. When I've done this, I have defeated the monster, I have gone up a level, I have garnered new treasure, I'm ready to fight the next fight. It goes then to my next player, and then we play a like round. Let it be said, a monster at 6 or 7 is about a half of glass of some bubbly, fizzy adult beverage. A 12 or a 14 could be a full glass.
Yes.
When you get around to fighting boss-level monsters, for example, like the dreaded worm, or the drink dragon, or the drunk giant, these monsters accelerate quite large because everybody gets in on the fight.
Of course.
And in doing so, they also throw in a lot to get people to back down. If you ever back away from a fight, you lose a level, and you also are scorned and scoffed by your friends for the next week. It says in the rules.
How many levels do you have to do this?
Up to 6.
You have to do 6 levels.
Correct. You have to get 6 to win.
So, is there some type of rule where the person who doesn't win has to help everybody get home?
Well, that makes a whole lot of sense. It does have recommendations in the book that we do encourage there to be a dedicated driver, of course, and all of that.
A lot of sleepovers and that type of thing?
It's usually a couch flop, but yeah, that's how that kind of thing goes.
All right.
But we do recommend a very safe place to be able to enjoy your adult beverages. But yeah, the first time you face a level 57 drink dragon and you start hoisting out beer bottle after beer bottle after beer bottle after beer bottle to get this through, the night gets very serious that way.
Do you actually finish this game?
It's been known to happen.
You've heard of it?
No, I've actually competed and
You've actually finished a game.
I finished a game. I've even actually won a game. Is that strange? It hurt. I don't know if I'm proud of that. The last winner that we had in our company actually just woke up clutching his pillow and crying. But he was the king of DrunkQuest. And the nice thing about DrunkQuest is that everybody who plays wins, in some way or another. Anyway.
On that note, is this readily available?
You can get DrunkQuest as of now. We do have a limited stock, and we have a brand new print run of this stuff coming in. So we are.
What's your price point for this now?
Price point is also running $34.95.
$34.95. So
yep.
that's okay. Everything stays the same.
Yep.
All right. So that's DrunkQuest from Ninja Division. Thank you, John, for stopping by, showing us.
Cheers.
We'll see you guys on the flip side.